How's everybody doing out there tonight? I am Mike Aglioloro. I am your host for this is Sports Zone. Coming to you live like we do each and every week here via the I-95 Sports and Entertainment Radio Network and Blackjack TV for the replays. So we will be recorded. This is being recorded on Tuesday night, so it's live if you're joining us in the chat room, and it will be replayed on Blackjack TV tomorrow and available on YouTube via my YouTube channel as well. And we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be joined by both Erich Tressler and hopefully Dave Hastings if he has recovered from his birthday bash this weekend in a matter of moments here. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We have seen 2 days of NBA free agency begin. The signing period, of course, nothing can be finalized until June 6th, which is the official start of the NBA year. But we're in this period now where the free agents make their agreements, the handshake. As of right now, they're just handshake agreements with the teams. And this period was, of course, started on Sunday at 6 p.m. But if you were paying attention to social media and the different sports networks, obviously a lot of things were agreed to before that, namely Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving both choosing to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, for the Nets, the Kevin Durant signing became part of a sign-in trade where the Nets get Kevin Durant and a future first-round pick from the Golden State Warriors, and the Golden State Warriors get D'Angelo Russell. Both Durant and Russell signed to 4-year deals. I believe Durant's is going to be worth 140-something million. Russell's getting 111 million. Russell goes to the Warriors, and who also get Shabazz Napier and Travion Graham. Both Napier and Graham get traded to the Timberwolves almost immediately after that. And for the Warriors, it's a little weird. Like, we'll get into what it means for the Nets, and we'll get into what it means for the Knicks, having missed out on all these big names, because there were a lot of big names that went places. Knicks didn't get any of them. We'll get into that in a minute, but, you look at what the Warriors did, losing Durant to make the salaries work on the Russell acquisition. They have to trade away Andre Iguodala to the Memphis Grizzlies along with a 2014 first-round draft pick. And, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that Iguodala gets traded away here because, to me, that is really the glue of this of that Warriors dynasty, really. But, we do have Erich Tressler here now. Erich, I started to try to set the stage for what happened in NBA free agency. I was beginning to run down all the transactions, but I want to hear your initial reaction to the first days of NBA free agency, brother.
I got to look at it from two ways. One is a bitter Knicks fan who, just has to realize you're going to have to almost do it the way the Nets did it a little bit. Sure, you can at least try to compete for the playoffs and maybe build a little through the draft, because nobody wants to come sign with that dumpster fire right now. Nobody. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. I agree with Stephen A. that I think it was probably the worst day in Knicks franchise history. I will go that far. It was that big a strikeout. Now, the one improvement I will say from this year over what happened in 2010 was they didn't go out and pay for an Amari Stoudemire and try and force a B player as an A player.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, I appreciate that. They went out, signed a couple guys, decent contracts, 2-year deals, stuff you're not tied to for a long time or big money. Guys like Taj Gibson for 2 for $20.
Bobby Portis. Yeah, I got all your names.
Bobby Portis. I mean, I'm not really that big on Julius Randle. I know you're bigger on than I am.
I love Julius Randle. Yes.
So I mean, I think that there'll be a better squad than they were last year, although I don't think they're a squad that's competing for an NBA title. And when you are the Knicks, you have this much cap space and you have this much room and growth, and by all accounts, honestly, shy of like the minor crap that Dolan has gotten into with the fan or Oakley, he's stayed out of basketball operations. He hasn't. He gave the reins up once Phil Jackson came in, and he hasn't taken the reins back over. He doesn't make basketball decisions. They've changed the culture of the team. It's just he's a crazy owner. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people who've played for him say he's a great owner to play for too. So it's just they don't have the greatest reputation. So for a little while, they're going to have to prove that they really have turned things around with the front office. They're going to have to make some smart decisions. But other than that, the rest of free agency, I mean, Katie, Kyrie, I don't really see DeAndre Jordan as like a big piece of that puzzle.
No.
I mean, he's all right, but, as they were like, almost like a big three, and I'm like, oh, that's not really a big three.
No, it's not a big three. I agree with you on that one.
No.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, Kyrie's going to have to play most of it, if not all of next year without Durant, so we'll see what they're able to do with him. I think the move of D'Angelo Russell to sign and trade for him to go to Golden State is an interesting move.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, Kawhi not signing yet. It's a little weird, although, I mean, personally, I'd probably like to see him re-sign with Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see him as a Knick, but that's not even going to happen. It's not even on his radar. He won't even take a meeting with him, so It's not going to matter over there. And he, it's pretty much the Lakers or the Clippers, it's looking like. So, I don't know. I guess it depends on which LA team he wants to play for.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of go with what you were talking about for a little bit. Let's start with the Knicks here because, I mean, I think we're both of the same mind that we weren't really crazy about them spending that money on Durant, given that you don't know what he's going to be. I could be wrong. Like, you weren't really crazy about them throwing max money at him still, right?
Oh, no, I want max money. All of it.
Okay, you want it.
Well, Durant. I mean, dude, you'd be stupid not to. And any report out there that says the Knicks weren't going to do it is a bold-faced lie.
Well, we know that. Yeah, absolutely.
That the Knicks wouldn't have offered a full-on max contract regardless of what the doctor note said. It doesn't matter. I don't care what physical you sent them to. Somebody was paying him max money and knew that's what it was going to take to get him. So the BS story that came out that, no, they weren't going to pay him max money anyway. Yeah, they were. Everybody was going to pay Kevin Durant max.
Yeah, I mean, listen, to me, it's not that they didn't sign Kevin Durant because, I mean, I told you my feelings about Kyrie Irving in the past. I'm not upset that he didn't choose the Knicks. I mean, Durant's a little different, but I think it's more the fact that it's pretty obvious nobody wants to come to the Knicks right now. And I know what you said about Dolan. To me, because of the incidents with the fans and the incidents with Oakley and the meddling he's done in the past, I know what you said, he's kind of taken a back seat. That stigma is still there. And I do think he's hurt the Knicks as a team. I think that the dysfunction over the last 20 years hurts the stigma of the Knicks. And I think even if you say, hey, the Garden is still the mecca and the best arena to play for, that shine has definitely come off the Knicks as a result of everything that has gone on in the last 20 years, in my opinion. But you look at what they've brought in. I told you, I love Julius Randle. I was so happy when I heard they got Julius Randle. Wasn't crazy about $20 million a year, but it's a very short-term deal, so I'm fine with it. Portis, Gibson, Ellington and Bullock are shooters. Elfrid Payton, decent point guard with no shot. These are decent role players they brought in, and if they still continue to develop your Dennis Smith, your R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, Alonzo Trier, and Mitchell Robinson along this, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I think they could have a 7th or 8th seed in the playoffs next year. I know it's not a championship, but to me that's better than a 17-win season.
But see, I'm spoiled. I'm sorry. I play for championships. I don't play
Oh,
for
you
seventh and eighth
first of
grade
all,
trophies. I don't play for that. I'm sorry.
you don't play.
I'm
You
sorry.
watch
I'm
teams
sorry.
that play.
I'm sorry. I'm not in it to watch this. This is what bothers me. See, you're used to this as a Mets fan.
Oh,
Mets fans
now
are
we're
used to
getting
this.
hurtful.
And this isn't just like I'm gonna say. Most people that are Met fans are Jet fans. And a good chunk of them are probably, for the most part, Islanders fans as well. And they all live in the same misery. Just they enjoy the misery. I can't enjoy the misery. I'm not that. The Knicks are in that misery.
But
they're the only team really in the doldrums that I haven't seen pick it up.
I've
even seen a Ranger championship in my lifetime.
I did
so,
too. I did too. Calm down.
I'm just saying that, I get upset with the Knicks. I do. I don't like living like this. So to me, I just got to back off the Knicks until they start showing me something. They got to get to be a fun team to watch again.
Well,
and,
let's
see what happens.
Yeah, okay, let's stay with that for a second because your definition of misery, I get it. Yankee fans spoiled, you already admitted to it, all right, fine. But how many teams do you know of go from 17 wins to championships in one season? Even if you put Durant and Irving on that team, they were not winning a championship next season. I get they'd probably go farther.
With Barry, with whatever they could, Mitchell Robinson, they would have had a better shot. Knox, would have kept developing.
They wouldn't have won.
They would have had a better shot. They would have had more talent. They would have had, in the NBA, you need stars. You need talent.
Yeah, but stars don't guarantee championships. Look at Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook as your proof, okay? Here's what I'm saying. Misery is what has come for Knicks fans the last 20 years. Okay? You got decent veterans around a young core. If the team is fun to watch and makes the playoffs next season and gets a couple good wins in that first round, and then they're able to build off of that for the future, that's how you get a winner. You look at what the Nets have done the last 3 or 4 years as proof. Why did Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving choose the Nets? Because they have a management group in the front office and as a head coach who have a plan in place. They built this team from the ground up. They were exactly where the Knicks are now 3 years ago. And because they developed their young players and they built their assets, they got themselves to a point where they were a playoff team, and then they became attractive to free agents. The Knicks have to do the same thing now. It's just that simple.
Really? Because the NBA is also the type of place where you can take a raging, roaring dumpster fire of a situation with the Lakers and turn it into Anthony Davis and possibly a Kawhi Leonard, and your Vegas is, odds on even bet to win the NBA championship. So I don't want to hear it that, you could build, they were a team that was not a good team. They were they weren't a playoff team last year. So, and to go from that to odds-on favorite to win by adding 2 guys, that's the type of league this is.
But wait a minute.
That's the type of talent you need to bring in. And KD and Kyrie are that type of talent.
Yeah, but they're not doing it next season. You know they're not doing it next season. There's no guarantee they do it the year after that. And since when did Vegas odds become the be-all, end-all? Hey, we got the Vegas odds, we're winning the championship. What does that mean exactly? Because I'm telling you right now, if the Lakers miss out on Kawhi and it's just LeBron and Anthony Davis, they may not get out of the second round, in my opinion.
I'm telling you, Vegas doesn't like to lose, and they don't lose often. So when their odds are that big, they know something. They know something we don't know yet.
They know exactly what we know. What do they know that we don't know?
You're right. You're right. The books they get beat by the gamblers all the time. Right?
When you're talking about wait a minute. When you're talking about odds for something that's a year in the future, yeah, they do occasionally. It does happen. It does happen.
No. I'm saying if Kawhi goes there, those are the odds. The odds obviously drop if he's not there, but there's still a contending team without him. Just LeBron, being that the Warriors are going to be down with Kevin Durant and
Klay Thompson.
For most of next season, that the Lakers with AD could step up and win the West. They got a shot at the title. They do. 2 guys playing on a team is all you need in the NBA two friends, two buddies. Bring in a third, it almost guarantees it. Bring in a fourth, and you end up with what the Warriors have had for the last 4 seasons. So it's just,
Well,
it could be done. It could be done. Now,
it can be
the
done.
Warriors did it with some homegrown and then added to it, but
and they did it with
could be
team
done very
chemistry
simply
too.
by just adding free agents as well, especially when they're as big a name as Kevin Durant, who's arguably the greatest player in the world when he's on the court, and Kyrie, who's arguably a top 15 player in the league. It's a lot of talent. Instantly raises your profile.
Well, let's switch off of this for a minute because I feel like we could debate this forever. And here's the thing: I might be stupid. I don't think Kawhi going with LeBron and Anthony Davis guarantees them a championship. I don't. I just don't. I think that's a very good team. I think they would definitely be the odds-on favorite. My cousin's saying in the chat room, LeBron is 35. In my opinion, it's only a matter of time before he starts to lose a step. And they don't have a backcourt with that team right now. So I don't think that's a guarantee that they win a championship either. But let's go over to something that you did mention, which is the Golden State Warriors, because as you mentioned, they are going to take a step back next season. Durant leaves. Klay Thompson's out with the ACL. But to me, the biggest hit to that team is the fact that they traded away Andre Iguodala. Now, I know he don't get the headlines that the other guys have gotten, but that's the glue guy on that team. That
makes the headlines because he's going to L.A. They've already said Memphis is going to work out a buyout, and he's signing a contract with L.A.
When did that happen?
Right when he got traded.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play for Memphis.
I have to look in.
Buyout.
I have to look in.
They're working out a buyout once the trade goes through, and he's expected to sign with the Lakers. You can fact check me. It's all right, but I know.
Well, you interrupted me while I was trying to talk about the Lakers losing the Warriors. You got me all thrown off here, Eric. Thank you very much. Anyway, I want to talk about the Warriors real quick. I will fact check you on that later because I did not hear that one at all. That would be very intriguing, and to me, that would definitely make the Lakers the favorite if they got Iguodala. That would probably alleviate my concerns because of how important he was to the Warriors. And to me, you take Iguodala, who was able to do so many things for that team and basically play any role he had to. And then you replace him basically with D'Angelo Russell, who they may trade in their own right there. I'm going to let you very quickly. What are your thoughts on them losing Iguodala, and what's the bigger loss?
I agree that losing Iguodala is big, and I do agree that it's a big pickup for LA because of all the different things he could do. He doesn't mind taking a backseat to the stars and doing the dirty work. He doesn't mind coming in, being a guy off the bench. He could score. He defends like a madman. He's a solid player. He is an NBA level champion type player, and the Lakers will be a welcome addition to that squad, and definitely another reason Vegas has been projecting them to be pretty good next year. So I don't know. I think that's a big loss.
Okay. We have Dave Hastings here right now. Dave, first of all, happy late birthday to you, my brother. How you doing?
Doing good, my man. Doing good. How we doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing good. Eric just dropped a bomb on me that I didn't know was coming, so there's that. We're talking NBA free agency right now. We've talked about what happened with the Nets, Durant going to the Nets, how the Knicks look in this whole thing. We're talking about the Warriors right now, losing Iguodala, Durant, getting D'Angelo Russell, the step back they're going to take as a result of it. I'm going to ask you the question I asked Eric. What do you think is the bigger loss to the Lakers, Kevin Durant or Andre Iguodala? I think it's Iguodala because of everything he was able to bring to that team and all the different roles he was able to play and be that glue guy. What do you think about that, though?
I mean, look, anytime you lose the regular season MVP, two-time finals MVP, and one of the best players in the world, it's going to hurt. But for the talent that team has, I would lean almost heavier towards Iguodala. No, just going into next year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not over the next 4 or 5 years, but if we're going just with next year, I'd probably lean more towards Iguodala. And I kind of got in right when, like Erich was pointing out, there's nothing that man didn't do for that team. Defense, offense, coming off the bench, filling in for a starter role. I mean, he got the MVP of the year. They beat the Cavs. Defense, he was able to play on LeBron. He hit a huge three in, I think it was game 4, game 5 that, got them the win. So I would say going into next year, I would say Iguodala is the bigger loss. I mean, if we're going over the next 4 years, I'd say Durant's the bigger loss just because I would expect Durant to actually play the next 4 years, where I don't think Iguodala is going to play 4 more years. But yeah, I mean, it's a big loss either way, and Golden State's definitely taking a step back, and you see the Lakers just getting their guns in order and getting ready because they basically have a clear path to the championship, and if they end up signing Kawhi, I don't think I'll watch a single basketball game.
Nice. And Erich, yeah, I did fact check it. It does look like if he gets the buyout, he's going to the Lakers. So you are correct on that one. I tell you what, I will let you guys pick where we go next because so many things happen over the last couple days. You got the Jimmy Butler trade that turned into a 4-team sign-in trade. The 76ers get Josh Richardson in that. They re-sign Tobias Harris. They add Al Horford, which to me that's amazing right there. You look at what the Bucks did. They were able to keep Chris Middleton. They lost Malcolm Brogdon. You guys can decide where we go next. Dave, I'm going to start with you because you just got here. What would you like to bring up?
I mean, I think there's a lot to happen. Look, I'm just going to go with Jimmy Butler just due to the fact that I'm so happy to see him get his money. I know he's already gotten one big contract through it, in his career, but, I don't feel like he was, forcing his way out of Chicago. I feel like Chicago kind of forced him out. So I'm always going to be a Jimmy Butler fan. I think he's one of the rare guys that still kind of maintain that old school attitude of I really don't need to play with a bunch of superstars just to, feel like I can win and lead my team to winning. And look, we all know he's not one of the top 5 players in the league, but I just love that mentality, and I've always loved Jimmy Butler. So, a chance to go to Miami, be the dog, Pat Riley's great with star players. Hell, maybe they can put a team around them and they can be competitive. I don't think they're winning the East by far. I'm saying maybe they can at least be competitive.
Yeah. I mean, what I would say to that is being the Jimmy Butler guy you are, and yeah, he's a great player, and he's done so much with probably, and I don't want to take anything away from Butler. I mean, but like you said, not one of the top guys in the league, but he's done so much with the talents that he was given. He's put so much work in. But he's kind of getting this reputation as being this mercurial guy who expects so much of people, and it's not the worst thing in the world that he's demanding of his teammates, but it seems like he's had a reputation of kind of alienating the locker room. You look what happened in Minnesota. Not saying it wasn't warranted, mind you. I'm just saying it did happen. And then you look at Philadelphia, it was almost like he couldn't wait to leave there. Now he goes to the Heat, another kind of younger group of players there. Do you think he's getting a bad reputation as a result of all this?
I mean, I'm sure there's certain teams that might shy away from him, but look, the day I have a problem with a player calling out star players on his team for not performing to the level that he expects them to perform, I don't know what else you want. I mean, Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face because he didn't do something he should have done in practice. I mean, I'm sorry. I will always love that ultimate competitor mentality. And if you don't think the guys that are carrying their weight the way they should be and you call them out for it, that's on the guys not carrying their weight, not on him for having the balls to actually say something.
All right. Erich, what you got?
I'm with Dave. I like that mentality. That's the mentality I would want on my team. I want somebody who's going to not afraid to get in their face, be a leader, and really step up when needed. And I think that he does that. And some people don't appreciate that. The people today like their safe spaces and their, Don't yell at me. I need, I get anxiety. It's weird. It's a different lifestyle out there today. And a lot of these younger players, they're not Jimmy Butler. And they don't have that mindset. So he's going to find his fit. And, maybe it's with Pat Riley. Maybe it's with the Heat. Maybe Dave's right. They can put a team around him. He is talented. He does work hard. But yeah,
I think he would have been great for the Knicks. I know it wasn't really one of the conversations people were having, but I think the Knicks are one of those teams that could use a guy like him that is going to push everybody to be their best version of themselves on the court and perform at the top level. And I also think he's a guy that could have handled that New York media and would have been happy to put the MSG crowd and that, Knicks logo on his back and, try to carry that team back to what people want them to be. And I mean, like I said, I know that wasn't in the talk. That wasn't, a Woj bomb or
if I can interrupt real quick, I think he would have wound up punching Dolan in the face.
Oh, speaking of Dolan, and let's go back to this Knicks point real quick. So I want to tie in another thing. We're not talking about it yet, but we should be talking about it, and that's the Rangers signing the number one free agent out there who took less money to come play for the Rangers than he actually got offered by another team. So I think that's a big-time signing. And guess what? That's a James Dolan team.
Yeah,
people forget that. The Knicks can be successful. The Rangers are successful. The Knicks can be successful under Dolan. It's not all Dolan.
But wait a minute.
I'm sorry. I think the media is part of the problem because us too, we overhype things like KD, Kyrie coming to New York, myself included, because I'm a Knicks fan. I want to get hyped about it. But the media really pushed that narrative. James Dolan didn't help the situation either when he went on the K show and said that he was going to, have a big free agency, year, and that, big things are going to happen and we're going to get some, big time players. That all of that looks bad, but in the end, it's still overhyped. It's still, and then when it doesn't happen, it's more of a crushing blow. There wasn't really much of a chance once Kyrie decided to go to the Nets. There really wasn't much chance KD was coming to the Knicks. It just was over.
I just think it's a totally different situation because rightly or wrongly, Dolan has always fancied himself as more of a basketball guy. In my opinion, he just doesn't care about hockey. That's why he's always been hands-off. He doesn't care about hockey.
All he cares about is his band. All he cares about is
but hands-off with the Rangers.
Traveling the world and playing his music is all he cares about.
He has never taken
doesn't care about
he has never taken one
organization.
He has never taken one shred of interest with the Rangers. He lets those guys do what he wants to do, and if he had done that 10 years ago,
guys do what they want to do.
If he had done that 10 years ago with Donnie Walsh, we probably still wouldn't be having these problems we are now.
Again, 10 years ago and now, he realized the error of his ways.
He's still involved.
He's not still involved. You're delusional.
Kicking fans out for criticizing him is not still being involved.
I beg to differ. That's not being involved.
It's a poor perception. It's a bad perception.
From Joe Blow.
It's a bad perception in this day and age.
I don't care if it's a bad
but
perception.
Perception is reality in this day and age. You know that. Dave, would you like to chime in?
No, I love hearing you guys talk about the Knicks. Dumpster fire all day.
They're perpetual losers. They're going to have to build through the draft. They got no choice now.
Yeah, that worked out so poorly for the Warriors. Oh, that was the worst thing ever for the Warriors. Yeah, such a bad thing. Yeah, okay. Dave, I'm going to go back to you. What would you like to talk about next?
Oh, man. I love you guys.
Thank you. I love you, Eric.
I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, since we're on the topic of the Knicks, can we go back to the fact that they invested $140 million or whatever it is into the three guys that play the same position?
It wasn't $140 million. It was about $100 million. And truthfully,
now, really quick, I do want to point out, I do like the fact that other than the Randall contract, basically every contract, even the 2-year deals, are all team options that second year. So
And
I do like that.
and the Randall,
but I didn't understand that.
the Randall deal has also got a team option on the third year, so even that's not a big one. I agree with you. I couldn't really understand that myself, especially when you have a guy in Mitchell Robinson who you want to give minutes to, and you have Randall, a young stud. I mean, you guys know how high I am on Randall. I mean, you just leave Randall alone, he's going to get 23 and 12 every freaking night. So, yes, to bring in these guys, Dave, I don't know if you want to convert, but now we got two of your Bulls on this team now, so we have that. I did think that was a little confusing, I'm not going to lie. Erich?
I don't have a problem with them taking guys at the same position because guys are going to rotate. In today's NBA, guys can play 2, 3, 4 different positions. It's a different type of NBA. I don't think it's so, specific to position any longer. So I don't have a problem with that.
All right, fair enough. Erich, where would you like to go next? What else would you like to talk about today? I think you brought up Panarin going to the Rangers on that. I'm gonna be honest, I know a little bit about him because I think he was on my fantasy team one year when I did fantasy hockey. How do you think he's gonna fit in with the Rangers?
I think he'll do well. He's a guy who's, I guess, averaged over 80 points each of the last 2 years. He's young. He's, I think, only 27, 3 years removed, I think, from being, Rookie of the Year.
How long was the contract for? Because I know it was $84 million, but I didn't hear
7 years. 7 years.
That's a long time.
7, so it's like 11 and change, 11.9 a year.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope it works out for him. Because when you add a guy like him, were they really one step away and he could be that final piece?
No, but they're still going to make some other moves. Free agency just opened up, but I think that the Devils are another team. I mean, I think the Subban trade was big for them. I think that they're going to be players as well. So. Yeah, but I was just happy with the Rangers signing, and to hear that he actually took less money to be a Ranger, and that he actually wanted to come here. That was an interesting to me as well, and something I'm gonna hope to see on the ice.
Okay, Dave, what would you like to say about that?
Well, I mean, I think it's with the Rangers and Devils, they're both they both had the Devils at the first pick, Rangers at the second pick in the draft. This was a 2-player draft from what I've heard, and the two guys they got both have, really bright NHL careers ahead of them. Then you get the Subban trade for the Devils, you get the signing by the Rangers, so then they get veteran players in there that have talent, and, almost especially on the Rangers side of things, we're talking about, a piece to build around with the NBA. Well, I also think, a signing like that for somebody over the next, 7 years, you're really setting yourself up to be able to build around that guy, and hope you get a few more healthy years out of Lundqvist. And I think it's interesting because both teams were kind of in a rebuild setup, but both teams had the opportunity to be playoff contenders going into next year after having really bad years this year.
Rangers could have a really good power play next year with Panarin and the kid they traded for Trouba.
Okay. And how soon do you think Capo Caco, I think is his name, how soon do you think he comes up and makes an impact?
I think he'll be up this season.
Yeah.
I think he'll make an impact this season. I think he's talented. Like I said, this was a 2-player draft, and 2 of the best players in the world at their age level coming in. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what they got. And, yeah, I'm hoping that it's sooner rather than later, but definitely at some point this season, he'll be up and making a difference for the Rangers.
All right, fair enough. So we got about 9 minutes left here. I want to bring up something that has nothing to do with anything we've talked about, and then I'll let you guys have some final remarks here. You guys need to see Spider-Man: Far From Home. You guys need to see that movie because I saw it earlier today. I'm not going to spoil anything from you guys, but there are some wow moments in this movie that are really going to stick with you, especially them post-credit scenes. And I know, Dave, you and me have a reoccurring joke going that any movie I like, you're not going to like, and any movie I don't like, you're going to like. I'll tell you this. I liked this movie better than Homecoming.
I've actually heard some people say that in a certain way it was even better than Endgame.
No. I can't go that far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you justify that one, and obviously, I'm not asking for explanations until after I see it, but
Mm-hmm.
no, that I'm definitely interested in seeing that, and honestly, was talking about maybe going and see it like Friday afternoon. So I got the day off.
Here's all I know. You guys need to see that movie by next week so we can spoil the hell out of that movie. I'll tell you that right now. Because the two post-credit scenes might be the two most important post-credit scenes they've ever had in these movies in terms of what they set up for the future and the questions that they bring. There is something that happens in that first post-credit scene that everybody has wanted, that Marvel has never done before, that is so goddamn worth it. I could tell you that right now. And what they do with the rest of the post-credit scene is really cool too. So, I just wanted to throw that in there. So, yeah, we got about 7 minutes left here. Let's do some final thoughts here. Eric, what you got?
Yankees 2-1 over the Mets. I mean, I know you're trying to avoid talking about it, but it's a close game.
You want to hear
the
something?
Yankees are winning, and I will say that the Yankees streak could end. I mean, it's bottom of the seventh, and no home runs yet. So I mean, the streak could end at 31. We'll see. They are winning 2-1 though, Yankees.
Yeah, it was just really funny. I'm sitting in the bank today because my the chip on my debit card went bad, so I had to get a new one. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to do Android Pay. And I'm wearing my old John Olerud jersey that I always wear on my days off. And I'm sitting there, and the guy goes, "Hey, since you're a Met fan, you know what yesterday was?" I'm so sick of hearing about fucking Bobby Bonilla Day. I am so fucking sick of it. It is unbelievable. Anyway.
Only 18 more years, Mike.
That's all. Fucking so sick of it. They drop more F-bombs than we normally drop in one episode, but it's okay because it's my show. Dave, what do you got?
Go USA, baby. Women's national team won the semifinal today, playing in the World Cup game on Sunday. And I am just amped for Team USA women. I hate the fact that every time they play, it's during the workday, so I can't even watch the damn game. Got to enjoy watching most of the second half on Friday. That was a good game. And those women are badass, and I love them.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So we got 5 minutes.
I'm with Dave. America, 4th of July coming up. Women about to win the World Cup. America.
Let's go.
Nice. I wanted to answer my cousin because my cousin's in the chat room. What's up, cousin David? He's asking if Mysterio is good or bad in the movie. If you guys don't know about Mysterio, I ain't telling you. And he's asking me if Adam Warlock is the surprise at the end of the first post-credits scene. No, it's not Adam Warlock. You're not entirely off though. That is what I will say. And then I get Wheeler looks good soon. Looks good. Will be a Yankee soon. If you really want him, okay. All right.
I don't want him. I want him for a ham sandwich. If you guys are giving him away, I'll take him.
Oh, that's nice.
If you want Andujar, if you want Frazier, if you want somebody worth anything, I don't want Wheeler. I'm out on Wheeler for any of our decent prospects.
Well, what do you
take a package for a sub-100 guy? By the way, did you hear about this Martian that we signed?
I was just going to bring that. I did hear about the Martian. I was just going to ask.
16 years old, and they say he's the best prospect in baseball in the last 25 years. The Yankees just spent like 95% of their international money on him.
Mm. And then the Mets wound up getting the 27th ranked prospect in the international draft pool, who has been compared to Roger Cedeno. Yes, I did hear all about this earlier today. So I think we'll wrap it up a little early tonight. Technically we have 4 minutes left, but I think we'll wrap it up a little early tonight unless you guys got anything else we could go through real quick. Dave Hastings.
I just really hope Roger Goodell doesn't suspend Ezekiel Elliott again.
I don't know. I mean,
What do you do now?
no, it's for that thing.
No,
it's for that thing a few months ago where he was drunk and he was getting a thing with his girlfriend, so he accidentally a security guard tipped over or something. It wasn't a big deal. He didn't even get charged for it, but he met with Roger Goodell today.
More nonsense, Eric.
Yeah.
Crap we don't care about or want to talk about.
Yep. Eric Tressler.
Why can't these guys just be normal in the off season? I get it. They're bored. They have nothing better to do with their time. They're, anxious to do something, but just have fun.
Well, that's the problem. I think that's the problem, though. They're having too much fun.
No, they're not having the right kind of fun. That's not fun. There's nothing fun about that. Nothing fun about police reports and meetings with Roger Goodell.
Well, it was all fun and games until the police got
There's nothing
involved.
fun about TMZ stories. It's not fun.
It's all fun and games until the police and TMZ gets involved. All right, so that's going to do it for us. As always, thank you. Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys both for being here. Dave, once again, happy belated birthday to you. I hope you had a good weekend, my friend. Eric, thank you for coming as always. Cousin Dave in the chat room, thank you for being there. Thank you for everybody who's listening. I am Mike Aglioloro. Thank you all for listening.
Hold on, wait, one real quick. Isn't the British Open coming up this weekend? Is that this weekend? Am I off on that?
I don't know.
No, the British Open, I think, next weekend.
Okay.
Next weekend?
Okay. There you go. All right, so we'll try this again. Thank you all for listening. Stay sweaty, my friends, and we will see y'all next week.
Dumpster fire.
Sweaty dumpster fire. Tonight.